What's up, guys? Today I'm going to go over how I use DMX to Pangoscript and GrandMA for mostly for busking lasers on top of lighting, all from the console, rather than having to set up two different I don't know, like a MIDI controller setup with a PC on top of my lighting console. So I'm not really gonna go super into how I set that up because I'm just running the demo, beyond demo for sake of this. I also don't have a laptop on me that has a Pangolin license on it, so I'm just doing some setup work in Pangoscript for a little run that I'm getting on. Okay, so yeah, to start, we'll just go over here to Pangolin real quick and get rid of that. Okay, so there's a couple things you have to set up. First thing you'll have to set up is go to DMX and go to DMX ArtNet settings, and you're gonna just need to enable an input. I usually just do the first universe in Pangolin, and don't have to worry about output options, input options, or any of this stuff. Usually I will make sure that I have my adapter set here. I usually stick to the 2-dot range and keep off the internet when I'm doing this, and I'll just use that. Automatically usually get you what you need, but I just like to apply a adapter just to make sure I'm using the correct adapter. Cool. So the next thing I will do is make sure my DMX enable DMX in is on. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything from there. Another thing I will usually do, if I can remember where this is, oh yeah, I'll just put up DMX monitor and I will look at whatever input, make sure that there's some sort of stuff going on from there. And so yeah, I'll just play a little cue, and you can see that I have ArtNet or DMX coming from ArtNet on here. So cool. Now if we hop over to GrandMA, we can configure over here, and basically I am using the DMX server, which is the 50 channel fixture mode for Beyond, for actually running the lasers, but we're actually not going to look into that much here at all. Instead, I have a couple dimmers set up here that are actually launching Pangoscript, and all I'm using for this file is one for aligning my tap to tempo from GrandMA with Pangolin, and then have one that goes to outputs to all my zones independently, and then has one that outputs to an also 2 zone. And if you don't know about also 2 zones, I might do a video on that, but there's already a couple people that have done videos on that, and they're probably better than anything I could do, so I honestly might not even really get too into that. So yeah, cool. Now this is kind of my UI for lasers on this. Nothing's really super well labeled aside from some color effects, but basically what I'm using Pangoscript for, as I said, was for my tap tempo, which is right here, and you can actually see on Pangolin that my tap tempo is changing with this. So if we go back to MA, we'll actually look at my tap tempo button. It's actually just a macro that has learn executor 1.111, 1.112, 1.13, and toggles executor 16.115. You can see I also labeled what they're doing. So we have these three. Those are my speed for lighting. And then I have 16.115. So if we go over to page 16 really quick, there we go. And then 115, you can actually see that I have this cue right here. It's just a cue that it's a toggle cue. You can see over in MA now I'm playing with this, and it is affecting the BPM over there as well. And so here's the thing that you have to keep in mind with Pangoscript is that with a lot of actions in Pangoscript, it's not going off of a, like, when you hit 100 value or something, it's actually going off of every time DMX changes. So, for instance, tap tempo, you can see it was changing every time that I hit that toggle. Usually it would be something like a temp button where, like, or like even just a flash button where you press it and then it fires every time you press it. But this, using Pangoscript, we actually want it every time that the DMX changes, it is going to fire that tap tempo. So when it's at 255, then it's firing. When it goes back to 0 really quick, it's firing. So each time it goes back and forth, it fires. So yeah, that's how you would take care of that. And then if we go back to my laser UI, I have a temp button that just, if we look on, I have these two temp buttons. There's all and there's also two, and my zones aren't properly set up or anything since it's the demo file, but you can see what's happening. I have these 4 zones on Pangolin that are firing, or they're going to be outputted to. So if we output, then they're going to those zones. If we turn it off, hit, oh, I didn't turn it off, hit also 2, now we're going to our other zone, which would be our also 2 zone. So yeah, that's how I would take care of that stuff. That's really all I use Pangoscript for so far on this file. And now if we go back over to Pangolin, we can go into our ArtNet or DMX to Pangoscript settings, and I'll show you what I've got going on there. So over here, I usually stick to starting at the end of this universe. I try to keep everything on one universe if possible. If you get to like a lot of lasers, obviously that's not possible, but it doesn't really happen that much. Since they take up 50 channels per zone. So yeah, here, Pangoscript, it's honestly a very simple script. So we have a beat tap, and if we run it, you can actually see up there that it's changing the BPM. So there's that one, and then our other one is unselect all zones for our first line, and then select zone 5, which is going to be our also 2 zone, and then we have unselect all zones, and then select zone 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's really easy if you're adding lasers to a show. So I'll just, like, let's say how we have it set up here in, like, I mean, I guess all these zones are pretty messy, but whatever. Let's just get rid of all these zones real quick. And, okay, so we'll get rid of all those zones real fast. We'll add a couple zones. We'll just go L1 to projector 1, boom, L2 to projector 2, boom, L3, projector 3, boom, L4, projector 4, and then we'll go also 2 to projector 8. Cool. And let's say we wanted to add 2 more lasers to our rig. So L5 goes to projector 5, and L6 to projector 6. Cool. So yeah, I guess we can see some of our zones here. Let's open that up so we can see all of our zones. So now if we hit that Pangoscript, that goes to our also 2 zone. We see we're going to zone 5, which is our also 2 zone, and then hit all, and it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we added 2 more lasers to the rig, so maybe we're gonna have to configure a couple things, but let's just say in our also 2 zone, which I guess we'll get into also 2 real quick, why not, we can just add 1, 2, 3, 4, and since we're in the demo version, this isn't gonna show up, but trust me, this will work. So if we just want, say we want 1 through 4, it to just go left to right, you can just go like your first laser goes from -100 to -50, second goes -50 to 0, and then 3 goes 0 to 50, and then 4 goes 50 to 100, and then let's say we just want to split left and right on the last 2. So we have laser 5 goes -100 to 0, and -6 goes 0 to 100, and we can do that, and that is our also 2 zone, and boom. Okay, so we have an also 2 zone that's set up to output to all of our lasers, but we need to change that script so when we hit all, we're including laser 5 and laser 6. So if we just go back up into our DMX to ArtNet, or DMX ArtNet to Pangoscript settings, we can go down and just add to our select zones. We just need to copy that, go to the next line, change 4 to 5, oops, and then same thing, add 6, and if we run it, or actually it needs to be 6 and 7, because 5 is our also 2 zone. There we go. Cool. So it looks like everything is working correctly. So if we go back over to MA, we select our also 2, goes to also 2, select our all, and it goes to all. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of how I use Pangoscript in Pangolin, and utilize MA as a source for Pangoscript to make it so I can really have a lot more control over just little things like the BPM and what zones I'm firing on from the console, rather than having to go back and forth from 2 computers. I can just literally move the Pangolin computer just out of the way anywhere, and it frees up a lot of front of house space. So yeah, there's really a lot you can do with Pangoscript as well, and it's something I still need to look more into, to be honest. Like I mean, you can see over here there's command list categories that I mean, I was able to do the zoning stuff just by grabbing deselect zones, select zone, and I mean, it's really simple. It's also worth looking in the manual for some stuff as well, but overall, it's a really easy way to just get Pangolin and the console to do things for you, rather than you having to do a lot of stuff. So yeah, hopefully this helps. If I don't know if there's anything else that seems like it could be useful to teach on, like, Pangolin and integrating it with the console, then just let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to give that a shot. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.